The previous lesson we looked at arrays. Within this lesson I want to talk more about objects. So just like arrays, it's a great way to store multiple values within one container here, and with objects we have the ability to store multiple properties for that. So here we've got the my object, so this could very well be a person or a customer or something like that. So I'm going to update this to my customer, so that makes a little bit more sense. So if you've got multiple customers and you want to identify what this customer, what the information on this particular customer is, an array is a perfect example of how we can do that. So with arrays or with objects, when we look at it, we see that these are paired values. So we've got this first key value and then, or the name, and then we've got the actual value. So again, the name of the key and then the value, name of the key and then the value. And this is how we can retrieve that data as well. So if we wanted to pull out actual information such as the person's name, so I'm going to actually hide some of these console logs that we were looking at earlier so that we don't have too much stuff that's showing up. I think that I gotta get rid of some of these as well that we are looking at for the arrays. So now we should clear up that console log, and if I actually want to display information that's available within my object, so all I have to do is use the object name. So my object name is my customer, and then I can do a period and select any one of these values that's here. So if I want age, email, name, and these are the same ones that I have available here. So if I wanted this person's name, for instance, I could display it in this type of format. So if I actually wanted to do this, there's several different ways to do this as well. So another option for accessing the object properties is to do these kind of square brackets. So similar to what we were doing with arrays, and then we just pick out the name there that we wanted to use. So when I go back out here, this should actually display the same information because this is just two ways to access the property values. And when you get more into JavaScript, the reasons for having these two different ways of accessing object information is going to become a lot more relevant. Just for now, it's just important to understand that there are two different ways in order to pull out that property information from your objects when you're working with objects. And most commonly, depending on how you're structured with your content and how you need to retrieve it, one way might work better than the other. For the most part, I just use this type of format where I just do the period and then the name. And then of course you've always got to be cognizant, so if you have something you don't want to have spacing in there as well, because that's not going to translate well within when you're pulling out that content. And this one would format better for that type of instance. And also when you're updating stuff dynamically in JavaScript and you do need to have this dynamic value that's changing, you could use it within this format as well.